Yeah, it's really nice.
This is what we need. It's so cold in here.
We don't need coffee. We need mulled wine.
We need mulled wine. It's almost December.
What's Sydney having?
Some dog food.
Okay, it's not mulled wine for dogs.
No. I gave her a snack, so hopefully she'll be chilled while we chat.
She can come here if she can.
Yeah, there's space for her on here.
Yeah.
This little stage that you've made for us. I'll just have another slurp. So
we're finally here.
Yeah, we're in.
It's almost December.
Can't believe it.
And it's freezing, isn't it, Sydney?
Hi, Sydney.
Come up here, Sydney.
Yeah, come and sit with us.
Come
it's
here.
warmer
Sit
here.
down.
Lie down. Don't touch it with your nose. You might accidentally pause the video. You lie down then.
Yeah, you going to chill out here?
Yeah.
Don't lick the phone. Sit down.
Yeah, I'll move my phone out of the way. Go on, there's space for you just here. Lie down. Yeah, good girl. That's a happy girl now. When we first got here, and she just didn't even like coming in because we were always painting or sweeping or hoovering or putting masking tape up, and she's just
slowly coming around to it.
Yeah, I think she doesn't dig her heels in when we first arrive now.
Yeah,
and not want to actually come in. At least she's happy to trot about. And we got her a dog bed yesterday. Yeah, so she's got a little spot to chill in, which is in the shipping container behind me. Can you see that on the screen? Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
a little glimpse of orange. Yeah, that was a whole ordeal getting that in.
Yeah, it was one thing dreaming it and another thing getting it in here through some roller shutter doors.
Yeah, we took a time lapse, and I think in all it took about 40 minutes to get it in, but the time lapse shortens it down to about 25 seconds. But the guys who moved it in, they put it on a big crane and it was swinging on the chain. It was a bit precarious, but it was great. They knew exactly what they were doing, and we just kind of stood and watched, which is out of harm's way, which is good. And lowered the shipping container down, and then pushed it into place on a pallet truck.
Yeah, and it's here forevermore.
Yeah.
But it's looking great. It's been painted and carpeted, and there's going to be a coffee station in there.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to have people in through the doors.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing I'm looking forward to when we first open up to the public and people come in, and that first impression, well, obviously they'll see the coffee roaster just behind you first, and then they'll see the shipping container, this bright orange shipping container. Yeah. What could that be? But yeah, it's quite obvious there's a coffee machine there, and they can grab a cup of coffee while they're here picking up beans or just having a nosy. People could just be nosy if they wanted to. Yeah. Like, what's in here? Is this a factory?
It is a factory.
Yeah.
But it's an accessible factory.
Yeah. It's not off limits. It's not kind of, closed to the public. Yeah. We haven't actually set a open day is now date yet. But
it will definitely be winter 2021.
Before the end of the year.
Yeah. Are we committing to that now?
Well, I think we'll have a soft opening where it will have opening times and people can come, and we'll be here from certain time to certain time. But I think we should definitely plan a launch day, an open day where people can actually come in.
Welcome the locals.
Yeah. Make it an event with free coffee. That will lure people in.
Yeah. And just for those at home, we are now based in the South Lakes.
Yeah, in the lovely town of Carnforth, and the station is just around the corner. It's about a 5-minute walk around the corner. Yeah. We moved here into this industrial unit space in August, but we actually didn't really get everything in until sort of late September. Yeah. When I say everything, I mean the coffee roaster.
Yeah, the roaster took a while. The shipping container took a while.
Yeah.
And just, we started out with a blank canvas, dusty concrete, brand new floors, not painted walls.
It was just a blank canvas. Yeah. It was just... And I remember you saying when we first moved in, we just need to blitz this as quickly as possible, as in the painting side of things, because that would hold everything else up, because we can't move stuff in until everything's painted.
It's just like, well, a bit more than when you move house. Yeah. And you know the jobs that you want to do, and you get through the first load of them, but then there's always those extra things to do at the end that you just run out of steam.
We had to keep the momentum going.
We have to keep going with this until it's done. But we're at a point now where we're at that line of we can open while still finishing off.
Yeah, there's lots of little things,
signage.
little details that we definitely need to tweak. But at the same time, the piece of advice that we got, I can't remember who told us. I think it might have been Bare Bones Chocolate, actually, when we met them at the Manchester Coffee Festival. And they said when they first moved into their new space, they absolutely went to town with getting everything ready. And then as soon as they opened the doors, started selling chocolate and hot chocolates, that's it. Everything else just got pushed to the back.
That is
of the
why
to-do
I just
list.
want to get so close to, as we envisioned it.
Yeah, and every time we tell people, oh, it's nearly ready, and it's like, that's what we've always been saying.
I mean, some things were critical, like getting the gas installed for the roaster.
Yes.
I mean, we can't roast unless we've got gas or we've got a flue, but...
and that was installed
maybe 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Oh, she's gone. Bye, Sydney. So Alex has actually done his first roasts.
The first few.
Plural. I think I'd quite like to do some like behind the scenes videos of you doing a full roast, maybe even explaining the process of how it all works.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new learning curve for me, stepping up from the older machines just in the corner over there, stepping up from that.
Dust.
Yeah, I know. Stepping up to this beast of a machine. Just cannot wait to be working this round the clock because that's what it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, the main sort of catalyst for us moving into this bigger space was the fact that we needed a bigger roaster.
We needed room to grow as well.
And I mean, it was amazing being able to roast on the 2 kilogram roaster because, it's humble beginnings, isn't it? That's sort of where we started in in my mum's garage and then moved to Kenyon Hall Farm. And it was brilliant being there for about a year and a half altogether.
Yeah.
And then, there just came a point where we realised that the time you were spending roasting meant that you didn't have time to do anything else, basically. So 2 kilograms on that machine versus 10 to 12 up to 15 on the new machine. I mean, I'm not great at mental maths, but it's
a lot more per hour.
It just means that you could have one roast day for the week and you could have the rest of the week to do everything else we have to do. Which is
do
amazing.
more of these, doing events, welcoming the public in and serving coffees. And
I can't wait,
going out
actually.
meeting people, welcoming people here.
I feel like this space is giving us the potential for so many things that we haven't even really explored yet. I mean, you said events, like we're sat on this homemade
makeshift stage.
And we're musicians as well, so if we could host an event of some description with live music and coffee and who knows
this is
what
the
else.
Space to do it. I mean, it's equivalent to a brewery or cheese factory.
A cheese factory. Yeah, it is definitely like a factory.
Yeah.
And I think the location of where it is, I mean, Alex and I both went to Lancaster Uni, and now we've moved here as well to the area. It's kind of full circle moment for us coming back to Lancaster or Lancashire. Yeah. One sec, have a sip of mulled wine. You sipping, maybe want some too.
It's been so long since the last podcast.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what we were talking about, but I know so much has happened since. I don't know whether we were talking about moving or whether it was before even that idea was conceived.
I don't remember. I think we did our last podcast in May or April.
So we'd done our whole rebrand.
Yeah,
and we were working that machine to the max.
Yeah, and we had told the story of Fabio's coffee and importing the coffee because we got the coffee in February.
Yes.
And I think we did a couple of podcasts after that telling the story of how that all came about. And I agree with you. I can't remember what we spoke about on the last one. I feel like a lot was going on and we crammed it into a sort of 20-minute little podcast where it was just like a blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I feel like with this one, we can just slow it down.
Oh, we can take it easy. There's so much to talk about, but there's so much... Yeah, we could get into the nitty gritty of it all. Of just
okay. I've got one for you.
Okay.
From the last 3 months or since August, however long that is, what has been the kind of the best, amazing, wow, this is it moment, and sort of describe it.
Okay.
This is for us to keep. By the way, this podcast.
No, this is great. On. Yeah. Is it right now because this is almost at the end? Is it the transformation that day when we had most of the stuff in here and we were like, wow, it's happening right now. I don't know whether it's that. I mean, that was a pretty amazing feeling of, wow, we have created this. Or was it anything else? What else has happened over the last few months?
So much. That's the problem. It's hard to think back, isn't it? To just relive it all.
Yeah.
I can remember certain moments in the last maybe 3 weeks where we've both, either of us have said, look at all this. Look what we've done.
A pinch yourself
Look around.
moment.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think those little moments have been amazing.
Yeah. I think the main thing is that none of this happened overnight. And as much as we wanted it to, it was just, it's impossible because, actually we had to do all of it ourselves.
I think everything apart from on Carrington's Coffee's second birthday when we invited some friends and our new neighbours to come and help paint, which was amazing because we got so much done that day. Apart from that, everything, and obviously the official things like installing the gas, installing the flue system. Yeah,
but it all had to be a little bit at a time.
And we've done it all ourselves, just the two of us. I feel like I want to just give you a high five, like, way, we did it. But there's still lots to do.
No, we did
the conversation that we keep having as well is, there's a million things to do.
There's still an endless list.
I feel like we could just list and list.
And it's been a race to be able to get back to selling and roasting coffee.
Yeah, we almost had to sort of slow down the selling side because before this new roaster was installed, we only had the 2 kilogram one and we just couldn't really.
Yeah, and you can't let the panic of not selling coffee settle in because why we had to keep telling ourselves the reason why we're doing this is so that we can actually eventually upgrade and roast more.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of our future selves. Maybe 6 months from now, we'll be able to look back at the last 3 months and be like, well done you for just basically setting up a factory while also trying to do everything else that you have to do. But yeah, we've when I say we've done it, we're like 95%.
Yeah,
we've done it.
Not without struggles.
Yeah. So your favourite moments have just been those moments where we realise that we've done it.
It's the relief. It's the, I have this idea for, I don't know, constructing a coffee station by...
all by yourself.
Yeah, and then working out how to do it all because I had none of those skills.
I keep saying we're just making it up as we go along, and I think
you're just doing all the design work for everything. Just I can do this.
Yeah,
and just doing it.
Let's just give it a go.
Yeah,
yeah, and working together as well has been amazing. We've had certain days I remember where we've woken up, we're like, right, we know what we need to achieve. Let's crack on and do it, and we've been able to see it through and go like massive tick. That's done.
And all this while having the most crazy July and August, I think,
ever.
Yeah, probably. I mean, obviously not just ourselves, but the rest of
anybody that's in the events industry.
Working in the events industry.
Yeah, because during the 2020, because our other job is wedding photography. All the weddings that were supposed to happen in 2020 then got postponed to this year, but for some reason they were all crammed into July, August, a bit of September and October as well.
Yeah, so actually, there was one day over 2 days where we moved house.
Yep.
We moved here.
Got the keys for this unit.
And I think we were shooting weddings either side of it.
Yeah, I think then we had to just drop ship and go and shoot a wedding somewhere in Bath maybe. It was just a bit mad.
You just find a way to...
I think if we timelined August, we would just think, how did we do that? Because it was mostly the travel, I think, because a lot of the weddings that we were shooting were up and down the country, here, there and everywhere. So it was kind of back up to Carnforth, back down to our old house to go and sort some stuff out, over to Kenyon Hall Farm because we hadn't moved out of the farm yet. Yeah. We were still roasting out Kenyon Hall Farm while having the keys to this place because the new roaster hadn't arrived
for a
yet.
few weeks, before we decided to actually move this up. We were commuting
back and forth to roast. And having to roast in batches so that we had everything that we needed, so that if we had orders, we could fulfill them, while also traveling around the country to do weddings.
I remember at that period of time, I didn't know whether we could physically handle it. Yeah. I'd never before felt so drained, perpetually drained. Yeah. And knowing that the following weeks would be more of the same. But it's amazing how any human body can manage this and just push through it.
Yeah, it was almost like we had to go into sort of robot mode where we knew what we had to do and we, without overthinking it, just get the jobs done and just push as hard as we could and do our best, basically.
Yeah, there's nothing more you can do
frantic,
than
basically.
You can't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, but looking back, this is very cheesy, but I'm really proud of what we did. It's amazing.
Yeah, me too.
Cheers with our hot mugs of mulled wine.
Cheers. These mugs retain heat. It's freezing cold room.
Another successful purchase from Facebook Marketplace.
I love Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, the amount of things that Alex has been sourcing and researching and looking through. And I mean, I'm looking around the room. The plant behind us, which is actually a coffee tree, we bought from a lovely lady who had it for about 10 years, and it was a tiny little plant when she bought it, and now it's this big old tree called Russell because it rustles. Hopefully we'll keep it alive. These lights, which we will use for gigs as well.
Okay. Multi-purpose.
Yeah. And I'm wondering what else you can see behind us. The shelving unit at the back. I'm trying to remember that day when you were building that shelving unit.
I think I was roasting at the same time.
You were roasting at the same time. I was editing a wedding, and there was something else going on too. It was like the most.
The shipping container had just arrived, so we put it at the back.
And I think we'd painted maybe the first primer layer.
So that had to be ready. Yeah,
just an example of a day in the life.
Mesh together.
Yeah. So I think my favourite moments were probably the day that the roaster was put in place.
Yeah.
That day was just
because
amazing.
It was so unexpected because it was delayed by a couple of months.
Yeah. Which was very frustrating.
Very frustrating.
To put it kindly.
On the day that it did arrive, we got some help from one of our neighbours who had a forklift truck.
Thank goodness for the forklift truck.
Yeah.
Well, I think the issue is we had said to the company, the delivery company, we don't have a forklift truck. Can you bring it, with a tail lift? Because then we'd just be able to wheel it into place. Yeah, that's all fine. And then the day that it had actually been put onto the back of the lorry, they called us and said, do you have a forklift truck? No, we don't. Okay, well, I'm taking it off the lorry again. You can't have it today.
So it was delayed because we didn't have... Yeah.
It was a very hard day because we were so excited and so ready for it to be delivered.
We thought that was the day, and we were going out in that evening to celebrate. And it was just the biggest anticlimax ever.
But luckily, it was delivered the following day.
And because we enlisted the help of our neighbours, they just put it into play. They did a better job than we could ever have done. I don't know how we would have done it if we had unloaded it ourselves.
I think we were quite foolish, really, to think we could do it on our own.
So it was lucky in the end.
Yeah, and it's exactly where we wanted it.
Yes.
And that's also another really exciting thing that I really like is that all the plans for this unit, I just hand drew in my little scrapbook.
Where could this go and this go?
It was just a doodle. Well, that could go there and that could there. Obviously, we did sort of measure it up to make sure everything would fit.
Yeah, masking tape everywhere.
Yeah, and making sure that the shipping container could fit through the shutter door, things like that. But really, we've never designed a space before, not on this scale, and everything has gone as we hoped and as we planned, which is just amazing.
Yeah, nothing major has gone wrong.
I don't think so. I think we would remember if something bad had gone wrong.
We bought a couple of things that we didn't need in the end.
Yeah,
that's
I think
about
so.
it.
Yeah. Other than that, everything's... I think the hardest part of getting this place was just the waiting for the roaster, because it was kind of a ready, steady, go, but we can't actually pull the trigger on anything until it's in place.
And I think after those decisions had been made back in July, there's no room for doubt when you make a decision like this.
Yeah, it's
to
sort
go,
of all or nothing.
I'm going to take a micro business and tell myself I'm going to grow this into a fully fledged family business that we can foresee running for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it really feels like that. It's kind of, we're investing in our future, investing in ourselves, but also not just money, but time. The amount of hours. I remember you said, the average working week is this many hours, and this is what we've done, Susie, because I'd never even sat down and calculated. I don't know if you remember.
I mean, anyone who's self-employed will know it's not a 40-hour week, it's not a 70-hour week. It's very difficult to get that work-life balance. It affects your mental health, and you have to take time off when you can. And
you kind of have to force yourself to take time off, don't you? Because it's so easy to, there's just this odd little email I could send, I need to research shelving, so I'll just do that now.
Because it's on us to get the business, to get the place up to shape.
And it's
make
on us
things happen.
to open the doors for people to come in, and none of that can happen until everything is ready, and nothing's going to be ready unless we do it. But it's just time. That's all it takes. Obviously hard work and a lot of heavy lifting, but time. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there were a couple of occasions the last few months where we both just had to check ourselves and think, hang on a second, are we actually looking after ourselves? Because, we were eating well enough. We were walking Sydney, which is definitely good for our
I felt like we
health.
were getting fitter as well. After
moving stuff around.
Yeah. Building up stamina at least.
Yeah, definitely stamina. Getting stronger. I definitely feel strong. I don't know why I did that. Definitely feel stronger. But I think even now we are still maxing as much as we can. However, it's great to have this as a workspace that when we shut the door and go home.
Never before have we been able to leave the house and stay somewhere all day or all night if we really wanted to.
And have this as the workspace.
Yeah.
And that separation between home life
that physical
and work
separation.
life.
Yeah. It works wonders.
It's always been a blur.
I'd encourage anybody who's self-employed, who works from home, there is a joy to just leaving home.
Yeah.
And then and when you go back home, you can light the fire. You can.
Oh yeah, we do have a fire. Luxury. It is the best thing ever. Yeah, I think that's definitely helped us just wake up every morning with the motivation to keep going.
Yeah.
Because as you said, we haven't really sold much coffee in the last few months because we've been doing all this. Well, there's only two of us, and to be able to do the roasting, the marketing, the sales, the emails, the setting things up, painting walls, building shelves, just everything. It's just quite overwhelming.
Yeah, and we do know that we cannot do everything by ourselves.
Yeah.
But right now, it is just the two of us.
Yeah.
And we have to make do with that.
Yeah, and also make do with spending all day, every day
in
together.
each other's company.
Yeah, and
which
it's fun.
Being married.
We're well practiced in that after working on a cruise ship and living in a tiny cabin. Yeah. We
you were saying before about happiest moments, or we've had a few pinch ourselves moments.
Yeah.
During car journeys of 2 years ago. We were doing this. We had a very limited knowledge about specialty coffee.
Yeah.
We had no knowledge about roasting 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And look at where we're at now.
It's just from a tiny seed
how did that happen?
of an idea. Hey, we love coffee. We could roast coffee. That's an idea.
Yeah.
To not knowing anything about anything, to being, you're right. Can you remember any pinpoint moments of when we felt like that?
What, recently?
Yeah.
Just during car journeys.
Yeah.
I think
that's when we should record our next podcast. I know that's not possible.
It's so difficult.
But that's when we have our best chats, isn't it? On those long journeys between all the weddings. Yeah, we do. I think we come up with creative ideas as well while we're just watching the world go by. And on dog walks. That's been really good. Just kind of letting our minds relax. It's kind of like shower thoughts, isn't it? Where you just all the information of all the things we've read and all the things we've taken in, and then it all mushes in and then comes out as an idea. And I felt like that after the Manchester Coffee Festival, because it was amazing to just take in all, basically visually.
Oh, the stimulation.
From the coffee as well.
Yeah. Physical.
But all the people that we met, all the conversations that we had, it was overwhelming in the best way ever.
And so encouraging as well.
Yeah, our fellow coffee roasters, talking to them about their journey and their priorities and what they focus on and what makes them tick and what they enjoy most about it. We were just open and asking all the questions. And I think that's been one thing that I've really enjoyed this whole process. Like you said, it's taken 2 years to get to this point. Everybody that we've met in the whole of the coffee industry has been really helpful, open,
it's
kind.
So encouraging. It's so interesting. I don't think you're born, or you're 11, 12, 13 and your passion is coffee.
I'm going to be a coffee roaster when I grow up.
It's definitely something you grow into.
Imagine if you went back to your 11-year-old self.
I wanted to be a musician then.
Yeah. I think I just wanted to be a creative. That was my dream. Yeah.
But now it's become a passion, not just the roasting of the coffee and the tasting of it, but just how the whole industry works from the growers to the traders to ourselves to wherever it goes to. It's so interesting.
I think it's the people, isn't it, that makes it interesting. Obviously, the coffee is amazing. You know, if the crop is developed every year and improved upon, and the flavors and the processing. But on top of that, the part that I think it was, well, I mean, that's what Carringtons coffee, it's what we say the foundations were built on. It was the people.
Yeah, that's how we came
we
to
really
fruition.
had an interesting coffee, and then we met people that were, you know, inspired us to pursue it.
And I can see how that is going to transform and develop over this next part of our journey with people coming to us and the people and the relationships that we're going to build in this local area, in this building and the events and everything. It's just going to be... Yeah, I can't wait.
I think that's what I'm most excited, like, moving forward. That's what I'm most excited for. Most excited to just have conversations with people, to talk over coffee about, you know, anything and everything. Yeah. And just the potential of the coffee that we are really passionate about, which is Fabio's coffee, being a way to, like, bring it full circle and for people to know,
to just tell the story
of
this is where it came from.
And that's really, I mean, that to me is just so exciting, and I love it.
All the way through to, we're based in the South Lakes. We love the outdoors.
Yeah.
We're supporting Black Dog Outdoors, who put on events for getting people reconnected with the outdoors and for better mental health and well-being, and we're going to be able to do and support all those things.
We're in
through this.
the best position geographically to be able to do that. I do feel like, I know this is our business moving forward, but it's also our life. You know, we're creating a life that we can, you know, become part of the community and get involved in more than just me and you and Sydney going for a dog walk. You know, there's things beyond us just roasting coffee and taking photos and playing the occasional gig. I'm just so excited for that. It's sort of, we know what the future will look like, but we also have no idea.
And I think that's a good way to be. You can have a general direction, but just, we've always succeeded by being open to opportunities and allowing external factors, allowing just our own judgment to just
guide
make
us.
That wiggly path.
It's definitely a wiggly path. We do. We point ourselves in a direction and we talk about it along the way, and we kind of discuss different options and we pick ones and go with it, and stay flexible and stay open, and now we're here sat in our new roastery.
I know. Feeling slightly less tired as well.
I think we feel like we've got a handle on everything. That's how I feel. I think a few weeks ago it felt like the to-do list was too huge, that it was...
Yeah, but I like how you've actually written out the to-do list daily.
I'm a to-do list kind of person. I can't... It's not in here. I know your list is in your head, and I'm like,
but it's been good to see.
Let's write it down so we can cross it off.
Crossed off.
It's very satisfying. So I guess moving forward with the podcast, now we have this space, and now we're not distracted with painting walls and building shelves. I think I'm really looking forward to doing more podcasts where we can just go in more depth about, you know, what it is that we're doing, and I guess also, you know, discussing if anyone has questions about things that they want to know about what we're doing, then we can talk about that.
This is a great space to talk about everything coffee and more.
Business, being self-employed. There's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. But this podcast, we didn't even plan it. We just hit record and started
talking.
Set
up the mics.
I think I prefer it that way, because otherwise I get a bit on edge. What are we going to say? So hopefully this one feels relaxed. I feel quite relaxed.
No, I think maybe it's the mulled wine.
Yeah, we'll have to add
I think
this.
I need some more, actually.
Reheat another cup. I'll finish mine. This is great. We're looking forward to welcoming anyone and everyone to our Carringtons Coffee Co. HQ. I think that's what we're calling it at the moment. Or the roastery, or
the factory.
The factory. And also the roaster doesn't have a name yet either, although we've had some good suggestions.
What's on the shortlist right
There's
now?
Roasty McRoastface. There's Valerie, which has got personal, you know. There's, because it's Geeson or Geeson, there's a few ones beginning with G that I can't actually remember. Jade, because the roaster's green.
Oh, that's the...
okay. I thought that was quite a nice one. There were a few in there. The best one, though, was espresso Patronum, or there were some Harry Potter ones in
Harry
there.
Potter reference.
There was a Rubius Hagrid one that I can't remember, like Roastius Hagrid or something. they got good, but steadily worse. So we'll come up with a name.
Yeah.
And we'll have a launch open day where we'll have an event, which will be, first of many events, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that was the last 4 months condensed into...
I guess so, yeah. I'm sure there's a lot in there that we missed. Yeah. But we can talk about it in the next one. Yeah. So is this episode 6?
I don't even know what episode we're up to.
I think
but these are new beginnings.
6.
Episode
1, or season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 1 of Carringtons Coffee Co. Relationship Coffee Podcast.
Yeah, a new chapter.
A new chapter, a new beginning. Yeah. And if you want to listen to all the others, they are there somewhere. You can listen to them. They do exist. I guess that's probably it.
Over and out.
Over and out. Cheers again.
Cheers.